Hi guys, my name is Jennifer and I have a quick review for you today on what was actually the first book that I read once the Bailey's Prize longlist was announced, and that was The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill. Now this is going to be quick because I already wrote a full review for this for the online lit magazine Open Letters Monthly, and I wanted to wait to film this video until I could direct you to those more formal thoughts. So if you're curious about this book, you can go read the review. I talk about things like performance art and gender in this book, and I go through some of the plot without giving away any spoilers, and I include a lot of block quotes so that you can get a sense of O'Neill's writing. I just adored this book, and the original draft of the review was deemed way too gushing because I just poured all of my affection into it. So my first book review was too harsh, this second one was too glowing. Stay tuned for my May review, people, because Baby Bear's Porridge is going to be just right. So this isn't going to be as informative as my other long list reviews, but I'll give you an overview and then go into some things that I didn't expand on in the written review. So The Lonely Hearts Hotel takes place in 1920s and 1930s Montreal, and we follow two orphans named Perrault and Rose from their miserable childhoods to early adulthood when they both become part of the underbelly of Montreal society. And this book is full of contradictions. Horrible things happen to these characters, and the narrative doesn't shy away from that. The narrator talks about these things pretty bluntly, but there's also a slightly detached fairy tale quality to the narration. And I've described this book to other people as like the narrator from a series of unfortunate events plus lots of sex. And I think it's important that these characters aren't defined by their tragedy, because from a very early age, music and performing are how Perrault and Rose make sense of and rise above their trauma. And they see how their performances bring the light back into the eyes of the other children in the orphanage. And they know that the escape that art brings, the way it makes people see beauty in the world again and feel confident enough to daydream, that those things are anything but frivolous. Those things can actually sustain people. We do get some clown show shenanigans when Rose and Perrault are adults, but this is not a book about two precocious children joining the circus. No, that whole aspect of it is a really nice but small part of the narrative. There are aspects of O'Neill's writing that I found jarring to begin with, and for the first part of the book, I was enjoying it, but I wasn't sure what to make of some of her choices. And then about a third of the way in, I was just completely won over by this book's peculiarities and how it's rough around the edges. And from that point on, I completely bought into it, and I just loved it. I really gave this book my heart, and I think it took care of it and gave my heart back to me even fuller than it was before. I'd recommend this to almost everybody, although I will say that if you're a really highbrow reader, and y'all know who you are, if you go into this book cynical, there's a really low chance that you'll enjoy it. And of course, you can go in open-minded and still not like it. I'm not saying, oh, you'll agree with me if you're reasonable. But O'Neill isn't trying to impress people with crystalline prose. She's trying to capture the imaginations of all different kinds of readers and to paint the bleakness of Depression-era Montreal while sprinkling some fairy dust over everything. In the end, I'm guessing this is one of the books from the long list that I'm going to recommend to the most people. It's dark and weird and lovely. If you've read The Lonely Hearts Hotel, what did you think about it? And if you haven't, are you interested in picking it up? Right now, I'm halfway through the 7th book from the Bailey's Prize long list, and the short list will be announced tomorrow, so stay tuned for a video about that. Bye guys, thanks for watching.